Hi friends, it's Julie Golding-Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, along the tidal Scoodic or St. Croix River, the traditional territory of the Passamaquoddy, and I'm grateful they share this beautiful place with us. Today I have an easy spring card for you because we are anticipating the arrival of spring. Are we happy about that? I'd love to hear what your favorite thing about spring is and what you're looking forward to. While you're thinking about that and commenting about that, I will switch us over to our other view and we'll get right to our project. All right, so our project today is this particular card. So it's going to be our super simple make, really easy stamping, and we're going to get to it right away. So let's go right into it and I'll tell you some of the things that are going on as we go. So first of all, we're going to be doing our stamping part of it, and this is the stamp set we're using. This is called Notes of Spring, and it's so cute. Look how springy it is, too. We've got a little fawn, we've got a duck, or it could be a goose. We have a bunny or a full-grown rabbit, and then we've got some other kind of greenery bits as well, and it's a two-step stamping, so you can actually stamp this part and color in the animal, or you can just stamp it directly. But today what we're going to do is we're just going to use these sentiments for now, and we're going to use happiest birthday wishes. It also comes with especially for you, which could be any occasion at all. These would be great baby card stamps, I think, and especially for you could be for that. You could also use a little note of thanks, but we're going to go with the birthday wishes. It always seems like you need some birthday cards around. And I should say that this whole stamp set is available right now this month only for $5. So if you place an order of $100, at least $100, the system in the Stampin' Up! Website will allow you to add this stamp set for another $5. So a stamp set like this would be, I would say it would run in the low 20s to the high 20s at least. And it's $5 because it's the product of the month. So it's a really, really good deal. So I'm going to get this one out of here. So this is Happiest Birthday Wishes. And I like to just put a long stamp like this right down so you can read it properly. See, it's not backwards, upside down, or anything. You can read it properly. So the nubbly side down, the smooth side up, and that's so I can lower my block on it. And the smooth side will just adhere automatically to my block, and then it won't start arcing up or down. It's so easy to get your stamp just kind of the wrong way on. So if I went and tried to stick it on, I could kind of, bend it by mistake. See how that's bent in the middle, kind of arcs up? So I like to just put it right down where I can see it and see that it's straight, and then I'll pick it up with my block. All right, and make sure, because these are photopolymer stamps, they do come with a coating from the Stampin' Up! Factory in Utah, which I visited. And the folks there told me the coating they come with is dish soap. So they wash all of their photopolymer sheets. These stamps come in a giant sheet after they're made, and they wash them with dish soap. So just use your fingertips to get that off the first time you use your stamp, and maybe even the second or third time, but usually the first time we'll do it. And then we'll get stamping. So here is our Strawberry Slush stamp pad. And by the way, if you're looking for the supplies for this particular card, or you want to rewatch the video, just click through to the link that is featured right here in this post where it says Learn More. And that will take you directly to my website, to the blog post I made today about this card. And there is a full supply list there for you with pictures, so you can see them all. And they open up into my Stampin' Up! Store. Now, this particular die cut is made with the perennial postage dies. I should show you those. I forgot to bring them over. Okay. So here are the perennial postage dies. They're one of my favorite die sets. I have two favorites. One is Stylish Shapes with nested circles, squares, and labels. And this is my other favorite set because they have these nifty postage stamp outlines on squares and rectangles and giant rectangles. So they're useful year round. I really like them. So So this is just made with one of the little ones. I cut it in advance so I wouldn't take up too much time today, and so we wouldn't be rushed. So now when you're stamping, if you've never stamped before, your first thought might be to squish right into the pad. But I'll tell you, what these pads are made of is certainly ink, but they're put into a foamy material. So if you squish down, the ink kind of oozes up and over, and it will go all over your block. Now you can clean that up, of course, but to avoid that, just tap firmly, but not squishing into the pad. So I'm just tapping over and over here. So if I turn this sideways, I'm just tapping. So you see how I'm tapping there? Just the stamp. I'm not rocking it. I'm going straight down to just get the ink on the stamp. See how it's not around it on my block there? And so I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that. And we're going to hold it down for, I don't know, probably a count of 8 or 10, just to allow that ink the time to seep into the paper and off the stamp. We want to give it lots of time, and you don't need to rock it or anything like that. You just hold it straight down with even pressure. That's why I'm using 2 hands. I always suggest 2 hands so that you don't have a lot of pressure on one side and none on the other. And that should give you an even kind of image like that. See how it looks pretty much the same on all sides? So that's what we're aiming for. And this is one of the best colors I think we have right now, Strawberry Slush. It's almost a red, but not quite, but it's kind of a strawberry color. In fact, I have a holder here for brushes and pens that I just bought at Giant Tiger, I think, on big sale for $3 recently. And see that color of the strawberry? That's basically the same as this Stampin' Up! Color called Strawberry Slush. All right, so before I go on, I don't want to lose my stamp because these photopolymer ones stick to anything. So I'm going to just squish it around in here. This is a foamy material that is a chamois. It's called a Simply Chamois. You get them from Stampin' Up! And you just wet them down so that they're pliable like this and wring them out gently. And then you can clean most of your inks off with water only. There's very few inks that Stampin' Up! Has that are not water soluble, and this one's water soluble along with, there are 50 some colors, I think, or around 50 colors, and they are all cleaned up easily with water. All right, so I'm just going to put that right back because it's so easy to lose one. And if you're wondering if you've got all the stamps, there's always a count here at the bottom of the package, so you can count them all and make sure you have every one before you put them away. Since I only took that one off, I'm just going to put that right back, and we'll assume I have them all for now. So again, that's the product of the month for $5 with any order of $100 or more. The Stampin' Up! System will tell you directly if you're eligible to add it. And also, if you're having any issues with that, or if you'd rather have me place the order for you rather than order online, because not everybody likes to do that, just let me know and I'd be really happy to help you. I can serve anybody with an address in Canada. Okay, so we've got the hardest part done. That's the stamping. And here is my set of papers. So what we're going to do first is we are going to emboss this piece of paper here. So I will show you what we're going to do to emboss that. See the cool pattern I've got on there, those little daisies? So this is the embossing folder I'm going to use. It's called Lazy Daisy 3D Embossing Folder. And I am going to just take that out of here. And notice it said it was 3D. So 3D is important. It'll tell you which plates to use on the machine. And I'm just going to grab that. Okay, so today I'm getting out my great big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's the giant one. I'm going to move some of these things so you can see it. Usually I use my mini machine, and maybe I'll put it alongside this one so you can see the difference in the size. So here's this one. Here's my mini machine next to it. See how little that is by comparison? So here's my little plates for that, so it's quite a bit smaller. It's great for taking on the road to the cottage, to a crop, and this big one I keep to use at home. So here's what we need to use. I'm gonna just see here. So this is the bottom plate, which is number 1 on your Stampin' Cut and Emboss standard size machine, which is what you need for most of the embossing folders and some large dies. So what we're going to do here is look for the embossing. So here's embossing folders. This is standard embossing folders. This is 3D. So this embossing folder we're using today says it's 3D. And it's worthwhile noting that it doesn't say that on the folder itself. It just says that on the packaging. So see where it says Lazy Daisy 3D embossing folder. So you may wish to put like a little sticker on the outside to indicate that it is 3D, or you could just keep a list of your embossing folders in case your packaging gets misplaced. But here we go. Using with 3D embossing folders, you need plate number 1. There is your embossing folder with the paper in between, and plate number 4. So plate number 1 and plate number 4. There's plate number 1, so we're going to put that down first. Plate number 1 is right there. And then we need our embossing folder with the beautiful little daisies on. So we're going to take that. And you want to put the hinge in first. We're going to put our paper inside here. And just notice that the top kind of ends, the design ends near the hinge. So I always put my paper down a little bit away from the hinge so that I get the design the whole way on my piece of paper. So we're going to put that on. And then we're going to put plate number 4, which is this gray one. And then we're just going to crank it through. So I'm just going to put it here so you can see it coming out the other side. No electricity is needed. It's just pressure through the rollers that are in the machine. Very, very easy. Not any kind of technology to learn. It's so simple, and that's why I like it. All right, so let's see what it looks like after we did that. I'll just put these aside out of the way. And look at the beautiful result. Look at that. It was so easy. So you could use this side where you can feel the flowers, or you could use this side if you like that look better. So either way would work, but I'm going to go with this side where they're raised. And here's our sample back again. So we're going to bring all our pieces back. And by the way, if you like any of these items today and feel like you want all the things, I do have a BOGO on this week. And anyone can order with me who's in Canada, having an address in Canada. You don't have to be a customer in the past. And just click through on the link that says Learn More right here in this post, and it'll take you to my blog post for today with information about my BOGO. If you can't find it for some reason, just let me know. I'd be very happy to send you the right link. I have a BOGO going on just until the 20th of March. So there's still time to get in on it. There's quite a few bundles and stamp sets and papers, embellishments, and that sort of thing available. And all the information is there in my private BOGO group. So it's a safe space, and I'd be delighted to help you out if you would like to check it. So we're just going to put that on the middle here. That was multi-purpose liquid glue, by the way, which is one of the excellent ones that Stampin' Up! Has. And it is my go-to for liquid glue because it's such a good one. It lasts for quite a long time, and you hardly need any, as you would have seen with what I put on. Less is more. All right, and then this is the Florals in Bloom paper, which is quite gorgeous. I put out a call to people this week on my Facebook page, like I do every week, that I can anyway, and asked which item should I use and demonstrate in my Facebook Live this week. So I showed 2 papers. They were both different kinds of florals for spring, and folks chose this one. So maybe I should show you a few of the patterns that go with it. Okay. All right, look at all these beautiful colors. So we've got a pattern like this, which is lovely. And then you have kind of more monochrome on the back. We have this one, which is gorgeous. We have this one that is so colorful. If you like purple, you're going to love this one. And then we also have this one that has bigger flowers. So this one would be great for scrapbooking as well. So all kinds of beautiful, beautiful patterns there. But I chose this one. I thought this would be a cute one. Nice and bright to celebrate the coming of spring. So we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to put on the back here. Just to pop it up a little bit, raise it. And I love these little things. My daughter has used them for school projects before as well. They are not ones that will dry out. You can get some cheap ones that are not that good. Well, it's a case of you get what you pay for, I think, because these are great. The quality is so good. I often tell people that I have stayed with Stampin' Up! First as a customer and now as a demonstrator for many years because I love their adhesives. All the basics, like their papers, their inks, and adhesives are top-notch. So I like those so much. All right, and then we've got this little guy, and this is Granny Apple Green, and we're just going to adhere our paper to it. So I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. It's a double-sided tape glue. You can get refills for this. To refill it, you just kind of open it up here, just like that. You take this part out, put a new one back in, just line it up with those two wheels there. Very simple. Put the cap on, you're done. That's it. And it's cheaper to buy refills than a whole new one with a new casing and everything else. So if you need to find the adhesives, I can help you out with that as well. All right, so here we go. And we're just going to put a couple of those little dimensionals on there as well. You don't need too many because they stick really, really well and hard. So I'm just going to put that here, kind of in the middle near the top. So that's what I've got so far. And what we're going to do is add this ribbon bit. So this ribbon is strawberry slush, so it coordinates with our coloring here that's in our paper as well. This is strawberry slush as well. And it's called Faux Linen Ribbon. And I always tie on the spool because I find I waste less that way. So we're just going to tie it once. That's all we're going to do. So I'm going to see if I can get it to just look good. So I just made it a little tie in the middle there. We're just going to cut. And look at that, no waste at all. So I didn't even waste a millimeter of it there. I find tying on the spool is just so helpful. So we are going to use our glue dots now, which have gone AWOL. Now, where did I put my glue dots? I had a class last night. I'm trying to think what I did with them. Let me just look for a sec. Aha! All right, I found them. I'm lucky. Looks like I need a new one. So glue dots are also one of my favorites to use for the adhesives. See where that little circle is there? I'm just going to apply that knot directly to it and lift up the circle. So now you can see a shiny bit there is right on my ribbon. And I'm just going to put it across there like that. So very simple, but it adds an extra little elegance to the card. No fuss, you don't have to tie bows or anything like that. Not everybody likes that. And now you can see on my sample card, I've got some little sparkles there. And these are, I think, probably my favorite embellishment of all. They've had them for several years now. And they're called Rhinestone Basic Jewels. You can see I've cobbled together a couple of packages of them here. They come in 3 sizes, these tiny ones, the middle-sized ones, and then the larger ones. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a few here. I think I'll put them down here and put them on the centers of the flowers, just for fun. So let's see what we can do for that. So what would look good? Probably the middle-sized ones would go better as centers there. Let's put those 2. And maybe, I don't know if I want another one there or, okay, so I'll put 1, 2, 3 there. Maybe I'll just complete the set, or that's going to look a little funny with that one there. And then maybe I'll put one up here at the top as well. And if you can see this tool I've been using, this is called the Take Your Pick. And I'm just going to push that down slightly underneath the green part there. This Take Your Pick is really great. It's got putty on the end, so it picks up these tiny little gems really well. You push down and slide, and then it picks them right up for you. Also, it's used for die cutting. This is for poking out things in die cutting. And there are some other tips that come with it too, as well as an extra putty tip when you buy it. So it's called Take Your Pick. All right, so that is the end of my card. Very, very simple. So again, if you have any questions about my project or about my BOGO, if I can help you in any way with your crafting needs, I'd be delighted. Just let me know. And thanks so much for coming and watching today. Have a very happy spring coming in just a few days. Bye for now.